Man writes into Agony and column, let the story commence. Craig's pals were saying to him, that's trauma dumping. And Craig went, trauma? What you on about? What's this then? What's this? It's when you tell us about your problems. It means you're a bad pal. Oh, right. I didn't know that. Right. You should go and see a therapist. That's what they're there for. Therapist? That's a bit American. That's a fucking very, very harmful thing for you to say. Well, I just thought, what if it's, you know what? I can't be around you anymore. Pals fucking fell out with me and everything. What have I said? Fucking bad. I really, really, like, fuck. And he was, he went out, he went like, I don't know what he did. He went out and bought a newspaper. Can you believe it? A newspaper? In this day and age. I'm going to get a newspaper and just read a newspaper. And he's reading a newspaper, and it was quite funny because it's still got all the old things you expect for a newspaper. It was a kind of tabloid sort of thing. Usual fucking shite. And I actually had like a kind of funny bit, had a kind of crossword bit and wee comic things and everything, just like the old days. And one, I actually had a Agony Aunt column. It was Dear Davy. He's like, Dear Davy? Is that not like fucking, it's not like Deirdre or something? Dear Davy. And it looked like a pure normal fucking some cunt you just see in a pub. He's like, is this like a parody or something? As a joke? Is that a Viz thing or something? And he was reading it, and it was really good advice. It was for men's things. You know, only men can understand men. You know, like nobody's going to sympathise with us. You know what I mean? We say, you know, got a few wee problems upstairs and all that. You go and tell somebody, and somebody go laugh. The fuck are you to complain? You've got to fucking easy. Ah, you're right. End up going doing something daft. You know what I mean? The outlet for it. And he thought to himself, Christ, I should have said that therapist thing because that makes sense now. I'm part of the fucking problem here. What am I? I'm that. What am I? A toxic masculine. I'm a toxic masculine. And he was reading this column, and it was like guys writing in, and this guy going like that. Look, you need to you know, pull yourself together, but don't be afraid of reaching out and all that. Part of something. Did you know that wolves in the wild? Oh, it was like aye, wolves. Aye, if that's what wolves do, then aye, right then I'll do that then. Did you know that wolves help each other? Wolves, good wolves. Because I'm like a wolf. I'm like a wolf, like teeth. Did you know that studies have found that sharks, talking about like analogies of sharks and wolves and bears and things like that. This is called being in bear mode. Because he's reading things about guys saying, I just want to get away from the world, you know, I just want to curl up. Does that make me weak? Am I weak? Please don't say that And this Dear Davy guy was going like that. You're no weak, it's actually bear mode. Studies have found, I've actually studied this with bears in Yosemite Park and the Rockies. The bears go into bear mode, where they get away from everything. and look at bears, fucking rip you to pieces just like you would, because you're a big strong man. But even they bears want to get away from everything. Bears don't like loud noises and stuff like that. That appeals to me. So Craig thought, I'm going to write into this guy. I don't want any namby-pamby advice with somebody going like that. Oh, you're right. You're right. No, I want just, a guy to tell me straight for the fucking heart. Like that. So he wrote in this Dear Davy and said, I'll tell you what it is. I've never written anything like this before. I've never asked anybody. Don't really know what to do and how to even start to write something. There wasn't a fart. He said, and he went on and on. He said, just feel sometimes like I'm not up for it. I'm not really up for it. Don't quite know how else to word it. I just don't really feel up for it. I kind of want to get away. But I don't think I'm lazy or it like that. I'm not really up for it. Don't really know what that means and how to, I want to get back into it and I don't know how to do it. What should I do? I don't know what I'm meant to do. And about 2 weeks past fuck all. Thought, alright, it's probably just went in the bin then. And then he looked in the paper. He bought it every day. He thought it's a scam. Nobody ever actually gets a letter, replied to. It's their own writers. That's what it'll be. This is just a scam. People read it and go, oh, I'm going to write in, and then they buy the newspaper continuously for fucking 2 weeks, a month, waiting to see if the letter's going to appear. It's a scam. Pyramid scheme. But no. One day, fucking, like, seeing this Dear Davy, you had your sort of main thing, right? And a picture that went with it as if, it kind of illustrate the like imagine it's like an argument. How I keep arguing in work, falling out with pals and have a bit of stock photography or two guys like that. You got your main one, big words, kind of headline thing, and then you got another 2 or 3 weird ones in smaller text. His was the main one. This is the main one. Craig in Glasgow. So right away, Craig was like, is this me? Dear Davy, I'm struggling to just get back into things. I'm not feeling up for it. Can't quite explain what I mean. And it went on for a bit. He's like, this is mine. The wording had changed a wee bit. They cut out the whole, never really spoke about things like this before, don't really know what I meant to type. And a few of the kind of ums and ahs and, waffling on a bit. They cut that out. But the gist of it was there. Don't know what I'm meant to do. Don't really know what I'm talking about. Struggling to sort of get... I'm just not really up for it anymore, or sometimes, and I really don't know what it is. It's not just like my work is shite. I'm working on a job that's pish. It's just... I'm alright with it sometimes, then go through these periods I want to like drink like fuck, or sometimes think about driving my motor into a lamppost. What should I do? And this guy said, studies have found that gorillas can go through periods of no being up for it. right? And this is like the top gorilla, the main gorilla. No the other wee ones, like the main one, the alpha, wolf, shark, gorilla, which you are, mate, which we are, us men, apex predators. But even despite that, studies have found, this is Dear Davy saying in his reply, studies have found that even gorillas go through a period that, even though they're the top of the pile, go through a period of no being up for it. But then they're up for it again. You'll be alright, or something like that. And then he went on about, did another couple of paragraphs. Craig didn't quite get it. He sort of drifted off a bit. And he was like, right. And he read it again. And he just sort of disconnected in a way, that initial feeling of, oh my God, I'm in a fucking paper. Are people going to know this is me? No, tons of Craigs in Glasgow. That adrenaline sort of went. He read it again. And then about halfway into reading it for the fourth time, he just sort of drifted off. Like this. And he got in his motor and he stopped at traffic lights. And some people were walking by. And a variety of different people, different ages and things like that. And he just went like, you know what, fuck it. Slammed on the fucking accelerator and hit into about 4 of them. Fortunately, hardly any cunt was really fucking injured. A couple of them kind of rolled out the top. Another 2 at the side were knocked out the way. But no cunt went under it. No broken bones. But Craig slammed the fucking brakes on right away. Just the adrenaline, the whole what fucking happened, just kind of shook him. As if he'd done it, to fucking, get back into things. Like that. It cunt's fucking, opened the fucking water and reached in. Punched him a couple of times. And Craig took it. Craig didn't fight back, he's just like that. Just taking it. Because he kind of lost the fucking plot. Oh, fucking guy, just try to fucking knock it down. Knock it down, fucking do what I mean. What the fuck are you doing? Go, cunt. And dragged him out, started knocking fuck at him. So he wants to go pull under the tyre. And they held his head under the front left wheel. And this wee guy, must have been about 14, got in, knew how to drive, and reversed the motor out his head. Didn't crush his head though, but you could see it crushed, it didn't flatten it, but you could see it put a dent in. And Craig went unconscious. So maybe a bit of the skull had pierced the brain. Fuck knows. But it didn't really matter. The wee guy jumped out and went like that. Out the way, every cunt out the way. I want to take a runny up. And took a right runny up and kicked him right in the face. The end. And that's a true story. How do I know? I watched the whole thing happen. I watched it all happen. And I ran up to Craig after it. The bits before that, where I wasn't there, the writing, I went up to him, I said, any last words? Because you're dying, mate. This is it. This is you on your way out. Any last words so that you may live on? And he whispered all that to us. And then I went like that to him. I'm going to forget all this. I'm going to forget all this and I'm not going to tell any cunt. You die with your body. and I held his nose shut and his mouth shut like that. He was like that. And then people ran in like, it's all right. No. The motor. I think I had a heart attack or something. Aye. So I got away with murdering somebody. Felt fucking good. Guy seemed like a prick.